Recently, I made a video talking about why I can't let go of Night City, where I talk about how beautiful Night City is while being dangerous at the same time. Then few days ago, I made a video talking about the entire plot and the characters and few set pieces of the base game that I really love, and people really loved that video. So regardless of that video's performance, I was gonna make a separate video for Phantom Liberty anyways, since I couldn't include this section on there, otherwise the video would have gotten like very long. So I decided to make a separate video. So if you haven't seen that video yet, make sure to check that out first, then come back to this. I'll link it down or tag it up there. But yeah, Phantom Liberty. This is the expansion that led me to get therapy after finishing it. People haven't experienced true heartbreak or depression if they haven't played this game. This is the first story I've experienced where there is no right or wrong. There is no good or evil, except one character. But the point of this story is not choosing right from wrong or a side. The point is choosing the pain that you can live with. No matter what you choose, you will hurt someone or someone will hurt you. So I wanted to make this video and talk about my feelings towards the expansion's plot, characters, set pieces and ending. Sort of like a retrospective, but with my point of view. I don't wanna be that guy, but these videos take a lot of effort to make, man. So a like and subscribe is truly appreciated into motivating me into making more videos like this. So grab your snacks and let's get into it. In a bubble, the plot is basically Songbird asking you to help her save the president. In return, she will help you. At that point, V is desperate. He wants every help he can get, so he agrees. But Johnny knows that something is off, and as the plot goes on, that bubble slowly starts to burst and you realize that this is not a straightforward story. There are layers within layers. Every character has complexities that give off a suspicious vibe that yeah, something's off, but you can't wrap your head around it, and not soon after you're stuck between a conspiracy spy thriller where you not only have to help yourself but understand and uncover every character's secret, and it's up to you to make a decision that will change the course of not only your life but theirs as well. As the game goes on, every character gives you a reason where you can trust them, but 5 seconds later, you realize that they hid something from you which makes you not wanna trust them. Then the next second they do something that makes you sure that yeah, I trust this guy, but 2 seconds later, you're back to square one because they were hiding more secrets from you. So as the game goes on, you start seeing more and more about each character, some good aspects and some bad. By the end, when you have to make a choice on whose side you are going to choose, you have no definite answer. It's like a blurry lens. You can see through it, but everything's a blur. The answer is you have to bet on a horse blindly and hope that this turns out well. When you get the task of saving the president, the first thing that comes in your mind is the awful politicians in real life who doesn't care about you but themselves. And considering the situation the world is in right now, all because of greed and hunger for power, your real life opinions start reflecting in the game. But when you meet Myers, she's a fearless leader. She can defend herself and does not rely on others for her safety. She cares about the people of her country, and most importantly, Songbird, the most trusted netrunner of her. When Songbird disappears, she gets extremely worried for her safety, almost as if she cares deeply for her. Such a great president. If she was real, I bet everyone would have loved her, right? Well, that's the thing. This is your perspective from inside a bubble. When you meet Reed and Songbird and get to know them better, that Myers is just like any other person with power or maybe even worse. She fears for Songbird's safety because she is useful to her. Her need for Songbird is not about personal loyalty but more about exploiting her powers and maintaining the NUSA's military dominance by forcing Songbird to use Blackwell tech to gain massive advantage over the rivals. But this process is killing Songbird by eroding her mind. That's why Myers was so adamant about getting her hands on neural matrix, the only thing that can cure Songbird. Ah, how caring, right? Well, no. She wants to cure Songbird so she can keep her most powerful netrunner functioning and under NUSA's control. When you understand her real motives, you feel foolish for even thinking that she is different. She is just as corrupt and evil as any other person with power, if not more. This really shows the future of our world through the eyes of a video game. Night City isn't even a parallel world, it's reality. If Songbird really existed, she would be stripped of her own identity just to work for the government. You start asking questions that, oh, Songbird betrayed me, she is the villain, or V tried to off me, maybe he is the villain, or better yet, Kurt Hansen is a literal warlord, maybe he is the villain, but nope. The real villain was Myers all along. Reed and Songbird were mere puppets, one brainwashed puppet and the other desperately trying to escape and find her freedom. After you help escape Myers from Hansen's mugs, you end up in this museum mall sort of place, and you are basically trapped there just barely hanging on until Songbirds take control of this big robot. That was the moment where my adrenaline just rushed like crazy. I was in awe by how huge that robotic war machine was, but deep down I had a feeling that yeah, this thing is definitely gonna turn on us, and guess what? I was right. Songbird eventually loses control of the CHIMERA due to rogue AIs infiltrating the tank and taking over it, but the way it was showcased was goosebumps inducing. The entire screen starts flickering like crazy, the tank screeches like it can feel pain, and Songbird is being overwhelmed by the sheer power of the rogue AIs. The sound design at this moment was legendary. The first time you witness this, you are literally immersed in that game. The game turns into a scary horror stalker game. That CHIMERA starts chasing you, cutting everything in its path with the lasers, and you as a player are so deeply involved. It doesn't feel like Myers and V are only surviving. You as a player starts panicking as well. This moment was literal beauty. I play games on hard, but found Cyberpunk to be pretty easy, even on hard mode. But this boss fight really was a challenge to beat. My only complaint is in hard mode, the tank turns into a bullet sponge which pushes the length of the boss fight, and it sort of turns tedious after a while. Maybe I was under leveled or under equipped or whatever, but I felt like that was the case. I felt it was going a bit too long. There have been a few theories where people believe that Songbird let go of that CHIMERA on purpose to let V and Myers die, but I don't think so. If she wanted Myers and V dead, she then would have never asked V to save Myers in the first place. So yeah, this theory makes no sense. But all I wanna say is that this set piece was fucking nuts. Kurt Hansen's primary goal was to secure the independence of his rogue state, DOGTOWN, by keeping it free from corporate influence and NUSA. So he forces Songbird to unlock the neural matrix and bypass the black wall, creating a weapon that would make DOGTOWN a terrifyingly independent power. So your plan is to infiltrate his HQ and take the neural matrix for yourself, but you are given a choice here: take Songbird's side or take Reed's side. If you take Reed's side, then Hansen kills Alex and Songbird escapes, but you are left on the floor almost dead. And this is also when the Kurt Hansen boss fight triggers. I think it was okay, it wasn't anything crazy, but I loved it. But my favorite has to be the Killer Moon arc. So, if you choose to help Songbird, the Killer Moon mission triggers, and my god, this was literal hype, man. Alex kills Hansen and both Reed and the FIA are after V and Songbird. The way the entire atmosphere changes, Songbird is wounded and on the verge of death. So you are responsible for your and her safety. You have to fight your way out of Hansen's HQ, and there are a million enemies there. The atmosphere, the music, the tension, the consequences for your actions, everything piles up to deliver one of the best experiences in gaming. My adrenaline was rushing and I had chills while playing this game. If someone tells you that these big robots are not even scary, they look so stupid, well, they haven't played this mission. I was one of those people. I've always found robots lame and stupid. On surface, this mission is basically Songbird escaping into an underground facility, so you follow her while your comms with Reed get cut off, so you are stuck there with Johnny. In your mind, you know that you are playing Cyberpunk, where the most of the scary part of the game is this screen right here. But as you go deep down, the atmosphere becomes tense and it starts feeling creepy, where Songbird is slowly getting infiltrated by rogue AIs from Blackwall, and suddenly you see this big robot. That's the time your heart basically skips a beat. It goes from cyberpunk to alien isolation real quick. You have to open some gates while that robot is constantly trying to find and kill you. I was holding my breath the entire time. The scariest part was that Songbird was trying to save you. She's doing everything in her power to help V escape, but the rogue AIs wants to kill him. This line where they say,
This is it. The end is easy.
was literally bone chilling. I know whose idea it was to put this mission in the game, but sir, you have my respect. The entire expansion and some parts of base game revolve around the Blackwall, but you never realize just how dangerous it is. This mission shows that Blackwall is not a toy. It is literally the line between life and death for humans. These were just few rogue AIs. Now imagine what an entire army could do. This is not the only horror there. When you enter CYNOSURE and meet Songbird, she's weak and almost dead. That's when you start questioning yourself. Did you do the right thing? Is your life more valuable than hers? She's begging you to kill her because she knows what will happen to her if she is left alive. But you kill her, you get no cure. What do? You kill her selflessly while you get no cure and save her the pain of a long time suffering from Myers? Or do you act selfishly and let her suffer for eternity while you get the cure? What is the right answer here? In the Killing Moon mission, where you choose to take Somi's side, she gets us away to go to Moon, so you have to sneak Somi inside the spaceport. And soon after, Myers orders to turn NCX upside down to find Somi, and oh my god, everything turns into a bloodbath. Bullets are flying everywhere, Somi's dying but doing everything she can in order to help you. You're trying to move as fast as possible. Choppers keep trying to gun you down, and somehow you make it to the terminal, and Somi tells you to hold down the fort while she hacks the terminal. Endless waves of armored enemies starts approaching you. V keeps running out of ammo, so you're trying to pick whatever weapon you can find. Sandwich stand and quick hacks keep going into a cooldown, and the music, oof. The music is blasted in the headphones. It's the most epic gunfight I've ever witnessed. The entire FIA is trying to gun down one man and a woman, and when it's clear that yeah, V and Somi are not gonna survive, the last option was to access the Blackwall. That moment when they used the Blackwall to kill everyone was pure madness. That was total chaos, and when you're inside the train, everything turns calm. You are almost there, and the cure is just few minutes away until you find out that it was all a lie. When you first start the Phantom Liberty expansion and meet Songbird for the first time while getting a stroke with the melancholic soundtrack in the background, you know that this expansion is gonna be in a league of its own. The entire game's vibe just suddenly changes, and there are so many arcs and characters in this expansion, like Myers having her own agenda, Alex trying to get out and start a normal life, Kurt Hansen aiming to secure the neural matrix, V trying to find a cure. But there were two characters that really stood out to me: Reed and Songbird. Reed is a smart, dangerous, seasoned FIA sleeper agent, but deep down he's nothing but a dog. A dog for Rosalind Myers. Reed has lost his entire identity and control over himself, and he's only alive to serve Myers. You can beat him, betray him, try to kill him, but he will stay loyal to her, because that's how much he is manipulated and brainwashed into thinking that his life is only worth serving Myers. Songbird was a kid when Reed took her away from her home to train her into becoming one of the best netrunners in the world. But same as Reed, Songbird is a puppet as well. She does whatever Myers asks her to do. She has no say in her own life. She's more of a weapon than a human. Her childhood was taken away from her, but unlike Reed, she doesn't accept this. She wants to escape and start a normal life for herself. And the entire expansion, you are just being led on into believing a lie as well. Everyone is using you for their own gain. Reed wants you to capture Somi. Somi wants you to help her escape while having nothing to give in return. And the worst thing is there is no right side in this expansion. All the roads lead to the exact same spot, and that is you being used. So the only choice you have is to choose one side and just live with it. Do you want to choose and help Reed capture Somi so she can spend eternity suffering in a zombie-like state? Or do you want to step up and be a bigger man and let Songbird step over you while you get nothing? While there are a few endings to this expansion, like killing Songbird and setting her free, or handing her over to Reed and leaving her to an eternal torment, but you get the cure. But that cure you just got, is it worth it? Logically, if you look at it, then yes. The objective was to find a cure for yourself and you succeeded in doing so. Hooray, you win. Here's an award and a medal for serving your country by helping them use and torture a woman for her entire life. When V returns to Night City after a 2-year coma and finally getting a cure, his perspective towards the city changes. He is no longer the top merc. Hell, he can't even defend himself. If someone wants, they can just come and kill V in 2 seconds. It's that easy. Only people who are there for V are Victor and Misty. Basically just Victor, because Misty is leaving the city. So that cure basically took away the life we knew, and all he has got now is just himself and loneliness. So, is it worth it? Yeah, it's definitely worth it. You can still survive, you can make more friends, you can get a desk job. There's so many things to do in life, and he is still young, perhaps in late 20s. That's nothing compared to the life he has got. What about Songbird? Did she get life? On surface, yeah, she betrays you, but deep down, if you were in her shoes, would you not as well? Imagine being taken away from your home when you are literally a kid, being forced to work for NUSA who stole your life. All you are is a weapon that fires in a direction chosen by Myers. You have no future, no opinions, or a choice to choose a life for yourself. That doesn't really sound like a selfish betrayal to me. That sounds like desperation. Desperation to get her freedom back. Sure, from V's POV, that is hurtful as hell. But is your problem bigger than hers? And if she has no right to lie to V and take the cure, then you as a player have no right to take the cure and let her rot for eternity as well. Being turned to nothing but a computer with no thoughts but commands to follow. And what about Johnny? He begs you to change your mind so you can find other ways to cure yourself, because deep down, he doesn't say it, but he is scared to get wiped out again. At least, when he gets separated in the base game, he is with Alt, but here, he's gone, erased forever. Thinking about all this deeply, I can't live with that choice. The best choice feels like killing Songbird to put an end to her suffering and get nothing in return, or send her to the moon and get nothing in return anyways. But if I have to choose one ending, my canon ending is a King of Wands. King of Wands is the ending where you send Songbird to the moon, but unfortunately kill Reed and get no cure. Sending Songbird to her cure on the moon just feels right, giving her another chance to life, the very same life that was taken away from her. But in the process, you have to kill Reed. That really hurt my heart. But if you look at it in a broader perspective, Reed was alive, but he wasn't living anyways. He was nothing but a weapon as well, but he accepted it. So when you kill him, you break his leash and hope that maybe that will bring peace to his soul. Because even when alive, he was just being used like a dog anyways, so maybe killing him is the right choice. And for V and Johnny, I've always preferred helping Johnny kill Smasher, and then V goes away with Panam and the Aldecados to hopefully find a cure, as I stated in my other Cyberpunk video. This order of ending just feels right in every way. You help cure Songbird, You free Reed of his prison, John emerges with Alt, and you are with Panam and the gang. Perhaps we will return in part 2 to continue this journey and finally get a cure. I'd like that. And to finish this off, all I wanna say is that Phantom Liberty is truly a once in a lifetime experience that stuck with me ever since, and it will stay with me until decades to come. It truly showcases that you are not alone in this cruel dystopian world. There are others out there who have it much harder than you. Your story is just one of many, and sometimes there is no right or wrong in life. There are just choices, and it's up to you to make that choice, a choice that you can live with.
We're bound for the moon, Sony. Getting away from them all. Get that feeling too sometimes. Let's see, what do we got here?
Life support activated.
Diagnostics. Pressure O2. Infusion pump. Gently now.
Warning system memory clear.
Relax, Song. In spite of it all.